Hey everybody, I'm Griffin, and this is Theta, and this is a death battle! No, that's not our intro. Welcome to Stone-Faced Reactions, where we watch videos and then don't react to them whatsoever. Hey everybody, welcome back to Stone-Faced Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here to spin the wheel and see some action. What are we gonna get this time? The wheel unloaded for a second there. But it's back. And the wheel says Boba Fett versus Predator, and it's a death battle.
And
okay.
Technically, you won.
And technically, I won.
Due to bullshit reasons.
So, this is a funny one. And I want to hear your argument. What makes either of these two different? Go.
No, I'm not going to argue anything until you pick one.
Oh. Wait, no, I thought I won.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you get to pick. You get to.
Okay, yeah, you won the bullshit reasons, so it's not
Yes, exactly. I won because of bullshit. You won in your heart, though.
Let's see. Boba Fett in comic books, and if they include the new novels, or the expanded universe stuff, which they did before,
Which was free game.
Which was bullshit then. Kakashi should have won. Anyway. Oh, got an extended universe stuff. And the
cast
books.
Force Anti-Ninja.
Well, no, it's just that Boba Fett is a badass with a lot of connections and shit in the expanded universe.
Like Predator is basically a big game hunter.
Like he's there when what's his name dies aboard a ship, betrayed by Han Solo's son, by the way. Versus the Predator, who wins against the people except for the protagonist of the series, of which Boba Fett isn't one. Plus, there was a bunch of badass Aliens vs. Predator books, which, by the way, you should always read instead of watching any of the movies.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I mean, the books combine everything, like everything that was in the first movie, where they tried to like bring in Wayland tech before, they do the androids and everything. And they combine everything from all these things to do the weird pyramid. Everything that was good about that movie is in the books. Everything that's bad in the movie is not in the books. I think they were trying to make that woman that survives the end of the movie into the woman that was in the books, the main character in the books. Because basically, she survives a predator thing, and basically just goes on things with the predator sometimes.
You gotta have your human perspective character.
Yeah, because otherwise, even when she's around, she barely understands what the predators are up to. Because they don't communicate with her. They just do things, and she tries to learn through experience.
Right, so she's smart and observant. Good job. Good things.
Star Wars tech versus Predator tech, which barely ever changes.
Yeah, that's the big question right there.
That Predator has a nuke. Boba Fett has homing missiles. Boba Fett is made to lose. But the Predator is also made to lose. That's
a great point. How do you win with two losers?
I'm gonna go Predator, but I think Predator probably has more tricks. And Boba Fett doesn't spend all of his life hunting things, where the Predator hunts like a lot of things across lots of places, and Boba Fett only hunts like
bounties.
Yeah, normal things, like living people, where the Predator has experience hunting a wide spectrum of things.
Alright, so I do gotta agree that the Predator has a nuke. I think if it comes down to it, it could always end up a draw, because I don't think Boba Fett can escape from that. So if that goes off, he's doomed. But I think other than that, I think Boba Fett has the edge here. The tech was an interesting comparison, and honestly, I gotta say, they're probably equal. It's probably fine. Well, I think Boba Fett has the actual skill set to deal with the Predator because he's a person who's supposed to go out and find people. And he's dealt with a bunch of different tricks in the past. He's dealt with people who change their shape. He's dealt with people who go invisible. And he has literally beaten people with force powers.
He's also lost to somebody who was blind doing slapstick comedy.
He's also lost because someone wanted doing slapstick comedy, and then ended up in a Sarlacc pit, and then ended up in a terrible Disney Plus series. I
See,
know.
I would point out you have to actually try, plan, and do a whole sequence of events to defeat
Hmm.
the Predator. Whereas blind bending over and holding a pole, you could defeat Boba Fett.
Right. So he's definitely like overhyped, 1000% overhyped. He's supposed to be a badass, and he has like 2 appearances in the movies, and that's all most people ever see of him. But he looks really cool, so he's a badass.
Boba Fett
But
lost to the same hole in the ground twice.
but I'm gonna bring up the video game, where he actually is highly successful and has a career. The Boba Fett video game on GameCube that I think almost nobody else has played because it's kind of garbage, but it has him there with Count Dooku fighting other Jedi, and he wins.
Alright, sure, I'll bring back the vehicle combat game where Boba Fett is a character because for some reason he enters the fight because he has a jetpack, which makes him both the easiest to kill character in the entire vehicle combat game.
I want to put a pin on that. I want to see Boba Fett get like run over by the Predator spaceship. I want to see that happen. If that happens, I'll be extra happy if he loses.
I can't remember the name of the game, but it's like basically Demolition Derby for Star Wars. But again, he has a jetpack, so he just hovers his ass through the entire like 3D Demolition Derby thing. But again,
Right.
easiest to kill because he's basically just a dude with no vehicle. The kind of intelligence that we give Boba Fett. I'm gonna enter a Demolition Derby because I wear armor and have a jetpack.
Well, that does mean that he has a chance of winning in that scenario, so he's badass. So, let's go ahead and watch.
This episode is sponsored by Mint Mobile and HelloFresh.
Mint Mobile. Is
Probably
that
money
like a
related.
mobile about a mints, or yeah, I guess money related.
Boba Fett, the greatest bounty hunter from a galaxy far, far away.
I would arguably say
the monstrous
that my bounty hunter that I play in SWTOR
Nothing quite like the
is a
Yeah.
Betty bounty
thrill of the
hunter.
hunt, especially when
Oh,
you're chasing that
positively.
most
I
dangerous
completed the
game.
Great Hunt. I don't think Boba Fett ever did.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
That's
next, our
another
dog
time where
analyzes
Boba
their
Fett
weapons,
fights
armor, and
Jedi.
skills to find out who will
Forgot
win
about that
a
in
death battle.
Jedi Academy.
Throughout the galaxy, few names are as feared as Boba Fett.
I don't know, Bosk is pretty feared.
IG-88 takes over a Death Star in the
Yeah.
EU.
And in
I'd also point out that
incredibly
Boba Fett's pretty
convoluted
bad.
bid to
He's the
wrest
only one who had to be
control
told
of the Galactic
no
Republic, the Sith
disintegrations.
Lords Darth Sidious and Tyrannus secretly organized the construction of a clone army based on the genetic code of the galaxy's greatest.
We know
bounty
you're a
hunter,
war
God,
criminal. Just
Jango Fett.
pull back a little
On one
bit.
condition, Django Unchained got to keep one unaltered clone as his son, Boba, who became a cute little murderer just like his pop. Well, that is, until Django, let it get to his head.
Just as headstrong as his father, Boba swore vengeance on the Jedi and devoted his life to becoming
Collects
as
monster
deadly an
teeth.
assassin as his forebears.
Yeah, cause the Fets aren't just random badasses, they're Mandalorians. Basically a society completely
really.
dedicated to the art of war. Most
Boba
of the
Fett just
time.
claims he's a
Indeed. In the
Mandalorian. He's not
galaxy's
actually a
past,
Mandalorian.
have waged war against the
He's
Jedi
got the
as
armor
they
and
held
junk,
their
and
own,
but
despite
yeah.
lacking
Yeah, he
the
claimed it.
Force.
He didn't actually.
What's a
He's not a
self-respecting
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian without his Mandalorian armor, inherited from his dad. Fett's armor is made out of.
That's actually hilarious.
Also known
He
as
ended up
Mandalorian
producing
iron,
the
Beskar is
idea
one
of a
the
culture
strongest
cooler than
materials
he
in the
is.
galaxy. Tough enough to resist thermal detonator blasts and lightsaber strikes. Even bolts of lightning that can vaporize people aren't enough to harm the armor itself.
Fett's helmet has a targeting system, lets him see in infrared, and even has 360-degree vision.
And his wrist-mounted vambraces, designed to counteract a Force user's powers, come with a variety of indispensable tools, like a flamethrower, fiber cord whip, mini concussion rocket, laser beam, and forearm blades.
But when Fett wants to take his opponent by surprise, he breaks out the kneecap
Just
rocket.
backslap.
Not since the butt machine guns has Death Battle seen a weapon so devious.
As a living Swiss Army gun, Fett prefers long-range combat.
So it helps
I have
to
not
jet
seen that
for
animation. I
quick
gotta go
getaways,
find it.
especially one with a rocket that can nuke small spacecraft.
I don't know, my
He
favorite
also has his
Star Wars
trusty
animation is
E3
the
carbine rifle and
X-Wing
blaster
versus
control,
TIE Fighter
which is
one.
powerful enough to
Oh
vaporize
yeah, that's a
dudes in
classic
one
right
shot.
there.
But should an opponent get too close for comfort, or should his jetpack inevitably malfunction, Fett can reacquaint his victims with their maker with his Gatterfee stick, handcrafted by Fett himself as part of a Tusken
Again,
rite
unless
of
it's a hole in the
passage,
ground,
kind of like
in
how
which
Jedi
case it
make their
doesn't care.
lightsabers.
Add in your classic flash bombs, sonic bombs, gas bombs, motion sensor bombs, and the uber-powerful thermal detonators, and Fetty's basically a one-man army.
Thermal detonators can annihilate small buildings and even this giant stone bridge. Based on its size and the number of bombs used, each one should be packing around 3.5 tons of TNT.
But his weapons aren't all that make Fett so deadly. He's a
That's
master
a lot in a
marksman,
handheld
fighter,
object.
and tactician. He'd need to be to take on the Jedi and steal their sweet, sweet laser swords for himself.
He outsmarted the Jedi Master Mace Windu as just a child, and we know he's fought multiple Jedi after the Purge. In the old Legends timeline, he even fought Darth Vader twice. The same Vader who can dogfight at near light speed.
That's why he's decked out
I-
with
I
all
get the
these
feeling
tools
there's
to distract
context
and
to that
confuse
fight.
Jedi and their space magic long enough to get a clean kill.
And while he has a professional code of honor, when it comes to combat, Fett will use any underhanded tactics he can think of, perfect for fighting honorable Jedi.
I mean, there's no way Boba Fett could
As
beat
my
Darth Vader in a
personal
fight,
hero
so...
once said,
Yeah, so it's like
"This
Vader
Jedi,
obviously has
if only
ulterior
he
motives
was
than
here right
murdering
now
him.
to kill all
I mean,
these
Vader does some
stupid
pretty crazy
meatbags."
shit in the comics.
That's
I need an
probably
HK-47 episode.
Boba can crumple steel doors with ease, outrace explosions with his jetpack, and was shot through the chest and just walked it off. He was, and I quote, very angry about it. Not even the Sarlacc, the giant monster space vagina itself, was able to hold him, no matter the continuity.
Even into middle age, Boba remained a force to be reckoned.
You understand that the
In the older
Sarlacc
timeline, he led the
is basically a
Mandalorians to
giant
victory in
plant,
the
like a
Yuzan
Venus
War, and
flytrap.
even trained the Jedi
So,
Jaina Solo to
1,000
fight
years
her
of
brother,
pain.
just so happened to
Basically,
be a Dark Lord of the Sith.
It just
I guess
digests you.
even
It's
Boba
not
was
like
able to overcome
killing
his
you down there.
anti-Jedi prejudice.
You're gonna starve to death
Then
and
there's the
decompose.
axe, all
And
that. But who gives a shit when you're sitting
Stomach.
pretty on Jabba's throne like an absolute pimp?
I also
Or
heard that series
like
was
a
bad.
bantha.
He even
It is-
managed to
it is pretty
defeat
bad from what I
Cad Bane
hear.
in a duel, possibly the greatest bounty hunter the galaxy had ever seen.
I wanna
until
say-
that point.
Really? Killing Cad Bane there?
And look at that
Hot-
dog
spoilers.
stealing some of that Han shot
They just showed it!
That's what I said,
If you ever
spoilers.
find yourself in Fett's crosshairs, don't bother.
I also want to say the
You'll
one thing I
only
didn't
die
care to ever
trying.
see was Boba Fett's face. I don't need to know what he looks like.
This episode of Death Battle is
Right,
sponsored by
same thing with
Mobile.
like
After
the
years of flying
Mandalorian series. Like
contracts
it's
and
not
getting ripped off by big
important what he
wireless
looks
providers,
like.
If we've learned anything, it's that there is always a catch.
Especially
So
Judge
we
Dredd.
heard that Mint Mobile
I don't
offers
need to know what Judge
premium
Dredd looks
wireless
like,
starting at just
Carl
$15 a
Urban.
month. We thought, what's the catch? But after talking to them and using their service, it all made sense. There isn't one. Mint Mobile's secret sauce is that they're the first company to sell wireless service online only. They cut out the
Oh,
cost
wait.
of retail stores and pass
Isn't
those
this the
sweet
one
savings directly
that
to you.
Ryan Reynolds
Mint
owns?
Mobile's wireless service quality is incredible.
Is
especially
it?
for a scientist
He
like
owns
myself
it?
who only has
He
time
owns
for the
a
best
mobile
technology.
service.
Mint Mobile gives
And I
you
wanna
the
say
best
it's
rate
probably
whether you're
Mint.
buying for one or a family. And at Mint, families start at 2 lines.
All plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network.
To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/deathbattle.
That's
And now they've made their money.
Deathbattle. Cut your wireless
Yeah,
bill
no, he
$15
owns
a month
20 to
at
25% of Mint Mobile.
mintmobile.com/deathbattle.
Oh, there you go.
I've seen
He is
advertisements
1987,
about it
and
in the
the bony
past, both
jungles
him
of
and him.
Central America, an elite American Spec Ops unit would come into conflict with Soviet-backed insurgents. Their mission was a success, but little did they know, they were the ones being hunted.
It was almost as if the jungle itself was killing him. But in reality, it was a traveler from beyond the stars, a superhuman killing machine whose entire life was devoted to murder.
This was a predator.
Alright, so
These
new
men
Predator
were its
thesis.
prey.
The Predator doesn't actually exist. It's just a hallucination by everyone else who couldn't possibly believe that the Viet Cong could win.
A shoulder-mounted laser cannon.
It has a tracking system connected
So are you
to the
saying that Arnold
Predator's
Schwarzenegger,
biohelmet, which allows him to
isolated
see
in the
X-ray,
woods,
UV, and night
built a
vision.
nuclear
This is
device
on
and
top of the
detonated it?
Predator's own unique way of seeing.
Yeah.
Natural and infrared sight. Essentially, he tracks individuals by recognizing differences in heat signatures.
Too bad humans can't do the same, since the Predator's full-body light-bending camouflage makes him invisible to the naked human eye, letting him blend
Visible
into
to
the
everything but
shadows
movie
and take out
cameras.
his prey one by one.
But as ruthless as that sounds, the Predator is actually an honorable fighter who relishes the chance to fight up close and personal with his iconic wrist blades.
And guess what? For as bad as this one Predator was, this dude wasn't even that special. In fact, he was actually kind of a noob. There's a whole planet of these guys.
These are the Yautja. Yautja? 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 They never actually say it in the movies. Yautja society
was written
is
as
based
Yucha.
around one thing: hunting. The bigger and deadlier the game, the more honor slaying it brings.
And of course, they're out
That's
against
why
the aliens too.
Predators take on muscly 80s action heroes for breakfast.
Just one failed hunt forever dooms a Yautja to humiliation or death. And since Yautja lifespans can last hundreds of years, that would mean that elder hunters have centuries of combat experience.
You know,
and have
failure
never
sometimes
been
just
defeated.
happens.
They have literally kept winning.
But I
for
guess they have
hundreds of
every
years.
excuse to win.
This
If
is
you
the
lose
kind
with
of
every
predator we're
advantage,
looking at
maybe
today. The only
maybe
way
you
to
can't
become
cut
a
it.
fully independent hunter, a blooded hunter, is to slay their equally dangerous rivals, the Xenomorph. With bulletproof skin, acid blood, and retractable penis mouth, these aliens are dangerous enough to take down even the best Yautja hunters.
Which is why they carry a greatly diversified arsenal compared to the original
Ah,
genre.
the video games.
These more exotic weapons are earned over the course of numerous successful hunts and are proof of a Yautja's mastery and experience.
I mean, to counter
Like
your
their retractable combat,
accidents what
mecha,
happen
and controllable
mentality,
smart discs that vibrate
it just means that
Allowing them to kill their
any surviving
ultimate
hunter
equally dangerous
has
rival,
become more
Gary Busey.
acclimated to,
They
you
even
know,
carry a portable
chaos
EMP
theory
that will disrupt all electronic
to
devices
look
in
out
the
for
vicinity,
mistakes
forcing their
or
prey to
accidents
fight them
before they can
on
happen.
their terms.
Which is when they break out their plasma scythe, made of messed up evil laser energy.
This dark plasma the scythe emits cannot be stopped by conventional matter. Instead of merely cutting a target,
Oh, we're
its
hitting
energy
some
passes
crazy
through their
stuff
body,
now.
ensuring their victim will die in as little as 4 hits.
Even without his arsenal, the Predator is a literal beast. He's strong enough to tear through 2 inches of steel like it was tissue paper, casually invent the
something I forgot before this. There are tons of comics that feature the Predator.
Oh, shit.
From Archie comics
Yautja armor
to
is
Marvel to
plasma
DC.
forged, making it incredibly
Archie
durable.
versus the Predator.
I don't know that I think Archie helps the Predator.
And fast enough to dodge laser beams.
Okay.
Even if a Predator is defeated, he is expected to perform one final rite, activating a countdown to a nuclear explosion that vaporizes everything within 300 city blocks. Based on the size of that blast, this would be exploding with 15 times the energy as the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima.
So when a
That say's
dead,
gone.
there's no escape. Not even an army of Xenomorphs and their queen are enough to take the toughest predators down. When even Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger shits his pants in your very presence, you know you're as badass as they come. A goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus.
Did you just get struck by lightning?
So interesting that they didn't bring up any of the
Hello
comics.
Fresh, you get farm fresh pre-portioned ingredients and
You're expecting the finale reveal, right?
Maybe.
Fresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's
So is that good
number
or
one
bad for Boba
Fresh now
Fett?
has 30 dinner recipes to choose from every
Well, we'll
single
find
week.
out
Let's
soon.
those choices of any meal kit.
foolproof
Given that they have weapons that can just not be stopped by normal matter, but yet still
So,
take time
let
to
me
kill
just cover
somebody.
for you some various crossover predators.
Choices, more variety,
Okay.
and
Batman
more
versus
truly
Predator.
tailored to you. I know
Predator
there's a
versus
long day
Magnus
and battle
Robot
is
Fighter.
better than having an easy-to-make
Weird. Okay.
Tarzan versus Predator at the Earth's core.
Oh, okay.
Predator versus Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Superman versus Predator.
Yeah, that doesn't last long.
Archie versus Predator.
Okay, so did they call it versus?
The Justice League America versus Predator.
That should not last long.
All right, the combatants
I mean,
are
if he
set.
was
Run the data to
strong
all
enough to go up as
possibilities.
Superman.
It's time for a death battle.
Yeah, that starts to get a little crazy then. Well, let's see.
Well, I imagine he's
Boba Fett
probably.
gets Superman punched into the sun.
I imagine he's probably hunting Superman's loved ones, which is why you hold Superman at bay.
Oh, Boba Fett's holding a weapon. He's a target now.
Boba Fett can't get rid of his weapons.
I know.
And here's where we're gonna use the Darth Vader lightspeed shit to say that Boba Fett can just dodge bullets.
Well, I mean, in Star Wars, everything is like going at like throwing speed.
Yeah, but not the Predators.
Ah, true. And Boba Fett's already lost. He's dead. Yeah, he's dead. Wristblade versus Wristblade.
Well, one wristblade's facing the wrong direction, so...
The knee missiles, they did nothing.
And technically that should have blown the Predator's hand off.
Yeah, the Predator is completely immune to damage here.
Well, I just mean that when you hold an explosive, the force... So...
You're mine.
Unfortunately, in these things, the first one to take a heavy loss typically wins, so... Unfortunately, Death Battle hasn't changed its tactics in a long time.
And Boba Fett also dies in the explosion. Activate Reaper's Scythe.
Oh, Darkstalkers.
I pull it off.
I guess we just gave Boba Fett a lightsaber for this battle.
He's killed Jedi. He could have one. It's fine.
Yeah, never
Yes.
once have we ever seen him have a lightsaber on his belt or anything.
Nobody has had any weapon on their belt this entire time. They just pulled out of hammer space.
Boba Fett's storage space is his fucking belt. Look at it. You didn't lose yet. What are you doing?
I'll be taking this. Fools.
I guess we're gonna
And they're
say
both
here
gone.
that Boba Fett can survive a nuclear blast.
He did. Ah. No explanation. Just he does.
Guess they didn't watch the show The Mandalorian, which showed the limits of the armor.
Man, Boba was always a one-man army, even as a one-armed man.
Despite the Predator's fearsome power and experience, Fett's versatility and arsenal allowed him to survive this hunt.
While Boba could crumple steel, the Predator could easily tear
Vulnerable
straight
to
through it,
epicenter of
making him
nuclear
the stronger of
blasts.
the two.
But while the Predator could dodge laser beams, Fett could match Force users with near light speed reactions, making them similar in speed.
Doubt it.
However, the major difference was durability.
While the Predators are definitely tough, Fett's Beskar armor covers more of his body, and would easily resist almost all of a Predator's
Except for those
armor.
obvious points
Like
where
the
it's
plasma
shirt
caster,
and not armor.
usually hot enough to blow
Yeah.
a hole through anything. But you know what else is made of plasma? Lightsabers, which bounce off Beskar, no problem.
Specialized tools like the Plasma Scythe, with its ability to bypass conventional matter, could manage to kill Fett with a few lucky hits. However, Fett's jetpack and long-range arsenal allowed him to fight safely from a distance.
And Fett's kit countered a lot of what Predator could do. His helmet's infrared could see past Pred's camouflage. His flamethrower messed with Pred's thermal vision, and nothing the Predator had could withstand a lightsaber strike.
Also, the Predator's EMP could not disable Fett's armor, considering Beskar has withstood bolts of electromagnetic energy before without short-circuiting.
That's not to say the Predator was totally outmatched. He had a lot of similar gear, and a peak Predator would have had centuries of combat experience backing him up. Way more than Boba.
However, Fett was generally trickier. Predators fight with a code of honor and rarely, if ever, employ dirty tactics.
While Fett isn't totally without honor, he still employs dirty tactics to win fair fights, and was more likely to outfox the Pred given the chance.
Of course, none of that would have mattered had the Predator taken them both
epic
out
rise
with
of
his nuclear
mankind.
suicide bomb. At its epicenter,
Hell of a subtitle.
it would have been more than powerful enough to fry Fett. At its epicenter. The further away you are from the center of a blast, the less energy you're getting hit with.
By our calculations, Boba only needed to get about 50 meters away before the energy he was tanking was only about as much as your average thermal detonator, which the Beskar can survive. And given the countdown lasts 40 seconds, there was more than enough time, especially with a jetpack. Hell, Arnie escaped the same attack just by sprinting.
But perhaps the most important difference is the scope of their prey. Xenomorphs are definitely deadly, but they're not quite as dangerous.
Predators
as
hunt
massive
fucking
creatures
everything.
who can read
Not
throw
just
scientists around like a
Xenomorphs.
paper. Fett was
Literally, it was an
never
opening
prepared for
argument.
anything the Predator could throw at him, even space.
You just can't win them
Predator was
today.
as deadly and skilled as they come, but Fett's
We may have
cunning,
1-1 today.
arsenal, and impenetrable armor
Just can't
gave
win
him
them
the win.
today.
Congrats to Boba. Give him a hand.
Well, it's bullshit. They say
Oh,
the
wait,
predators only
he's
hunt
already
one
got
thing.
one.
The winner is
They hunt
Boba.
everything. It's the point of every movie.
Hey, if you want more Death
Right,
Race
right.
ASAP, why not grab a membership? You'll get exclusive emotes, badges,
But I think that was still fun, right?
Just click that join button. Thanks for watching.
Ruining my voice for this shit.
I know. We gotta get you a break here. Oh, hey,
Also, already
Ninja
saw
one.
this one.
Yeah. Alright, well, go see our reaction to Excalibur vs. Raiden, somewhere on our doobly-doo. Or, on our channel. I'm just struggling now. I'm struggling to figure out what to say next. Okay. You got anything other than bullshit? This is bullshit.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
Or you want to do one more?
I'm not gonna argue it out because it's a close enough fight that I could see either of them winning. I just think that their argument is bullshit. I feel because they likened everything to who would win based on who they would fight. Well, they didn't base the argument off it, but it was a. Oftentimes in these things, it's an experience wins sort of thing. And they said the Predator only fights the Xenomorphs. And no, they fight everything.
They also listed, like, has 100 years of experience. Like, it's hard to top that, right?
No, that's not the Predator they fought. They said if he was a blooded one, he would do this and that. And no, they went with newbie Predator. So,
yeah, newbie Predator who has to go hunt humans who are basically completely unprepared. So yeah, I guess like if they threw in a slightly more blooded Predator, then Boba Fett probably could have lost, for sure. So yeah, I think it turned out pretty even, all considered. Let's see, I think that's all the thoughts I have. We good?
yeah.
Alright, so one more, this is bullshit for the road, and this hasn't been Death Battle. This has been Stone-Faced Reaction watching Death Battle. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we'll catch you all next time. See ya, everybody. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?